and welcome to my garden. Come on in. First of all, I'll have you meet our girls. This is Abby and Luna. Hey, Loon. Yep, and Luna. And then the guy behind the camera is my husband, Ed, who will be doing this tour with us. So this is our garden. And one of the things that I will tell you right away, you'll find I love to do a lot of seeding in the garden. There's a bench right here when you come in and the plants begin.
Seeding. Not seeding.
Not seating,
like
but
seating.
seating. Yeah, like sitting in a seat. Yeah, that's what we're saying. So right here on our patio area, I said I wasn't going to do any pots this year, but you know, I always have a hard time with that. We've got this one oak barrel where my very first dahlia that I've ever grown from seed, I grew many, but only one grew to this day. So I've got that going on, and some snapdragons and another dahlia that I got along the way. But just a variety of things here, some basil that I'm nursing, and a little tomato plant, a sun gold that I am trying to nurse, a few little zinnias. We'll be talking about zinnias a lot. And then I have some tomato plants that I'm going to be giving away to a friend. Some cherry tomatoes that are just not really going too far. And then just some thyme, basil, and some succulents. And then, of course, the beautiful bougainvilleas are here. You will be hearing planes from time to time because we seem to have a lot of planes that fly over.
Joyride over the house.
Hey, but even like our little porch area here off the kitchen, we have some herbs up there, and again, a little seating area that we like to enjoy coffee in the morning or, you know, whatever. This is usually in the evening, we love to come in here, the chimenea, and again, just some more pots with a variety of different things from yarrow to geraniums, and of course zinnias. Did I mention the zinnias? I had so many tomato plants that I grew from seed that I've just been potting them around. So I have some peppers in here and some marigolds in with that. And I think that it's cool to do that in a potted plant as well. I've got some Canterbury bells that I grew from seed that are coming up here. And I love water in the garden as well. And so we've got a couple of ponds in the garden area and just a lot of different things going on, from potted plants to, this is some kind of an ivy and I forget what it is, but it grows like crazy and I'm cutting it back all summer long. But I love the look of it. But it needs trimming all the time. We've got some yarrow and irises. And of course, as we walk around here, some hollyhocks, and that haven't started blooming yet, but they will any day now. And then roses. And one of the things that I'll share with you about roses is that I love roses. They're beautiful, but I don't like growing them because I don't like the thorns. And so I have about 3 rose bushes in the whole garden, but these are getting ready to bloom, and that's awesome. So just to give you an idea, again, this is the patio up here. We have a little bar area over here with the barbecue, etc. That's my she shed over there, which I will show you at another time. We've got the main garden here, and then side beds along the outskirts of that is the primary part of our garden. So why don't we go along here, Ed, and we'll walk along this way to the garden, as it says. This is a delphinium that is getting ready to bloom. I've had this for a number of years, and it is one happy camper all the time. And the last couple of years, it'll bloom, and then it'll die back, and then it blooms again, which it hasn't always done. I've got some daylilies and columbines and a variety of things in here. This bed right here, we had hops growing up the windmill. We had it growing along the fence. It was really beautiful at one point in time until it became so invasive. It was growing into the lawn, all of that. So 2 years ago, we pulled it out, and I've just been growing some wildflowers in here. So a lot of stuff is volunteering because of that. We did replant an aster in here this year and a columbine. But I've cut some sweet peas that are actually growing up here that came back from last year. And so a variety of stuff going on there. First of all, I'll have you meet our girls. This is, and even these sunflowers have volunteered, but sometimes I will let volunteers come up in the rocks outside of the beds just to see what they do. I know that makes you a little crazy, Ed, doesn't it? Yeah. There and everywhere. And this bed, I've got some zucchini. I've had the darndest time growing zucchini. I don't know what it is about it, but we don't get along too good. So we'll see what happens. But I've got some black-eyed Susan vines coming up in here and some sweet peas as well. So we'll see what happens. This bed is yet to be seen because it has had the rain has really pelted it. I'll say that a few times here through this tour. We've had so much rain here in Colorado this spring. It's been something we've just never had this much before. But I grew this lavender from seed and brought it out, and it's just been pelted so much that, yeah, we'll see what happens. And then I put some Persian, what is it called? Persian carpet. Persian something, zinnias right here in the middle to give it a little color there too. All right, so here we are in the main garden area, and Eddie, let's look at these. Oh, look at this little guy down here starting to flower. Sometimes I let stuff come outside of the bed just because this has such a beautiful pink flower. I don't even remember what it is, but we've got a lot of things getting ready to flower here. But of course, the star of the show in this bed right now is the oriental poppy, which has been blooming for about 5 or 6 days, that's all. But the poor dear has been pelted so much by the rain that it's just so beautiful. Look at those petals. I just love this poppy. We've got some California poppies that are growing down here. Should be budding soon. Butterfly bush, variety of things. Lamb's ear, that's here. And perennials. Basically, this bed is all perennials.
If you don't know, lamb's ear it feels like a puppy.
Yeah, you shouldn't taste it, but it feels like a puppy, just like Sam. Sam was our previous lab, Luna's ears. Yeah, because that was the first really puppy ears we had were Sam's, right? But Luna's ears. We've got our tomato bed here. I grew all these from seed. I've really been getting into growing things from seed, and a variety of tomatoes. This used to be my zinnia bed for many, many years, but we did tomatoes here last year, and they did so beautiful that we've just decided to spread zinnias throughout the garden. And I've got zinnias going right along here that will be beautiful, I am sure. So, yeah, there is that.
We have a drip system and a sprayer system that has all the sprayers on each individual one. You don't want to have water on the tomato leaves because it messes up your plant. But we haven't used it very much this year because it's been raining. It's been raining,
but I have to tell you, I am very grateful to my irrigation guy. His name happens to be Ed. Yeah, the guy right behind the camera. Yeah, he does an amazing job. This is our other pond over here. And again, just love to have the water for the birds and the sound. It's all so awesome. We are right at the base of the Rocky Mountains here just outside of Boulder, Colorado. You can see some of the clouds that are starting to come in this afternoon. What else? Indian Peaks is, it is the back range. Then Long's Peak is right over there. It's gotten a little cloudy now. Yeah. This bed is really a lot of volunteers as well. The length of this bed, we've got yarrow at either end, and this yarrow has just, I don't mind yellow yarrow getting bushy. I've got some white yarrow. Look at it over here, Ed. This is white yarrow, and it is so invasive. I have spent so much time already this summer, or it's not even summer yet, this spring, just pulling out the yarrow out of the bed. So stay away from white yarrow is my word of advice to you. So this bed is a lot of different perennials, a lot of coneflowers, which I adore, some bee balm that'll be coming up, some black-eyed Susans, and yeah, a variety of things, and a little bit of lavender. Look at this. Most of my lavender that was here from last year, like this right here, got nailed in the cold of the winter this year. These are pansies. Volunteer pansies. I have a lot.
More and more every year.
Yeah, they're amazing. It's really pretty. A lot of sunflowers in this bed. Zinnias will be here. I did these cosmos that'll come up around this tomato plant. I hope it doesn't take over, but we'll try that out. Milkweed, which I really do love the milkweed. The butterflies love it, and I pull a lot of it out, but I keep some too. You can see it's coming up all over the place. It's coming up all over the place, and but I'll keep some and pull some and do that. So again, a lot of sunflowers, zinnias, nigella. There's a lot of nigella in here. This is nigella right here, which is a volunteer. I don't know how it even got in my garden, but it did, and I love it. Okay, we've got rhubarb and strawberries in these oak barrels. We have these oak barrels along this side of the fence, and I had transplanted this rhubarb from the strawberry bed. Made the mistake of putting it in there. It was a little big, and the strawberries came with it. Yeah. We've got tomato plants, tomatoes. Look at that, we're getting a little flower on there. So cool. And then nasturtium, I like to do flowers along the edge. Eggplant, I will try it until I get it right. Last year I tried eggplant for the very first time because Ed and I really do like it. And but the rain has been pelting this, and so we'll see what happens. It's the long, skinny eggplant, and eggplant parmesan is what we love. Yeah, that's the critical part indeed. Another tomato plant, and again, these guys have been really standing up against some pretty hard hitting. I mean, yesterday afternoon it just poured rain, and then nasturtium at the end of that. In this little sink, we have potatoes, the Clancy potatoes, and I grew those from seed as well, and so we'll see what they do. I have never grown potatoes before. Not tomato, but a potato with a P. Potato, I don't know. And then I put some zinnias in the back here just to have them grow up and be pretty, just to be pretty. We've got peppers. I also grew peppers from seed. They've also been pelted by the rain, and they're holding their own, but they've had a rough go. And so we put a bunch in this bed. I decided to make this a pepper bed. And so we've got a variety of serranos, banana, and this little one here, which has a little flower on it, which is chili chalaca. This little guy right here, and then some marigolds in between, because of course marigolds are great to keep the pests away, and they're beautiful. We have this grapevine, which look at all the grapes on it. I mean, it has been loving the rain. There's a lot of grapes on here. We don't really like the grapes from this grapevine because they have seeds in them. So, but the birds do, and so this is really our donation every year to the birds, and they love it, and the dogs get them to them too, even though dogs shouldn't be eating grapes. We have a fire pit in the middle of all of this, and we're trying to figure out what to do with this, because we used to have a pool here years ago. Pulled the pool out, And now we're just trying to figure out what to do with it. It was fine for a long time as a fire pit area, but with Abby, our puppy, she has really torn it up. So we're going to work on that, right, Ed?
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That
High on the list. And over here, right outside the she shed, I have my sunflowers, and these have just volunteered. This bed, I don't even remember planting sunflowers here, honestly, and I don't know how it started, but for so many years, these, because I don't know if I've said that, I don't think I have. We've been in this garden for 30 years, so we've had a lot of years here. But this year,
that's ended right before you stand. Those people lined up.
oh right,
This all out here is not here.
yeah, it was all as part of the pasture.
This part.
Yeah. So this year, because of the rain, we have so many sunflowers that I've been trying to just, as I walk by it, pull a few, just because we've got too many in here and they're going to end up crowding each other out. All right. So as we come around here, we're back to the front of the garden again. And as I think you can see, flowers are my favorite part of the garden, but there are some veggies, not to fail. You've seen the tomatoes. Something else I like to do, I'm doing a little project here with some sandstone that we have, but I also like, when pots break, I like to just kind of give them a placement in the garden. I don't know, I hate to throw them away, and it's kind of fun. Because I love, if you haven't noticed yet, I do love a little garden art. And there's a lot of fairies distributed through the garden, and just a little art here and there. Another rose bush, which I actually had pulled this out 2 years ago, and it just came back. It was like telling me, too bad, I'm coming back. This is a lot of perennials here. Over here is our salad, what I call our salad bed. And we've got a lot of variety of different lettuces in here. Arugula is starting to bolt, which, you know, that needs to do. And then of course there's the chamomile that is taking over, and the pansies as well. So I gotta get to that. Gotta get to it. And we've got garlic right here. This garlic has been here in this garden since the day we moved in. It was here before us, and it has just every year comes back. Yeah, to do it at night. We love lights in the garden at night, for sure. Herb bed here, we've got this tarragon plant that I planted many moons ago, and it just takes over, much to Ed's chagrin, every year. But I love it and love to do a dried herb mix from it. We've got strawberries that have really taken over in this bed a lot. Obviously the chives, I love chives, and chive blossoms this time of year are so beautiful. We've got oregano here.
Yeah, the trick this year is we have to get the strawberries before everybody.
Exactly, and we've already, and Luna is really, there's already some that are coming to light here. But just some thyme buried in here. I've got some St. John's wort, some Chinese balsam I'm trying this year, and then mint. We have mint, and it has been really good. I've kept it in I don't know if you can see it, but I've kept it in a container.
The strawberries were
the mint, this is the pot of it that I've had for years. I know, right? I love it. I do love the smell of it, but it's starting to escape. There it is right there. You can see it right there. Yeah, we've got a lot of bees going on, which is awesome. And then this is the veggie bed. Here I've got some basil. I've got kale. I'm trying to remember what I have here. What do we call this, Eddie? Swiss chard. I love Swiss chard. I love the way it looks. I love putting it in. It's really, really beautiful. So there's some sorrel over there. Little sorrel plant. I've got some marigolds. Of course, chamomile has found its way here. Got some beans coming up. And I've got these onions that I let grow over last year. I like to do that because I love the onion blossoms that'll be coming out here in just a week or so. They're really beautiful. And then a bunch of carrots and more chamomile. More chamomile. What else? Oh, let's do this bed over here. So again, we come back around, there's the tomato bed, and this is, the perennial bed we just looked at with the white yarrow. This bed is got perennials in it as well. Heuchera. Hello, Bumble. Heuchera. And this is Coral Bell's Heuchera. I've got a number of Heuchera in here. I've got this buttercup spring flower that I absolutely adore. It'll just bloom for another week or so, and then it'll come back in the fall. But even the pods of this, I don't know if you can get into it, Eddie, but they're so cool. So cool. And Baptisia. The Baptisia has been out about a week, and it's starting to fade a little bit already. The rain, I think, too, has been hard on it, but there's Baptisia. I've got zinnias coming up here, aster, just a variety of things, including morning glory. And some people may say you're crazy to do morning glory, but I love the morning glory flower. I just think it's so beautiful. So I put up with the fact that it gets little seedlings, like if you come over here, Eddie, there's all these little seedlings right here, and I just pick them out each day and take care of that. I've got a Queen Anne's lace coming up here that volunteered, and I believe, yeah, that gets really, and then some dill that just volunteered right here too. Yeah, so and more poppies over there. Yeah, so that's what I wanted to share with you today. This place has my heart. Ed and I have both put so much time, love, energy into this garden. Anything that you want to share before we say goodbye, Eddie? Nope.
Back doesn't hurt today.
Yeah, his back doesn't hurt today. And we had sunshine through the whole tour. Right. So I thank you so much for joining us. We'll time to time give you more tours, or maybe, I'll give you a little tour of my she shed or different things along the way. But this is where I like to play, where I like to grow, where I like to be. Take good care.